Now, Alphonse Capone led a very vicious, violent life, but according to the statistics, I am a much worse person than Alphonse Capone. I don't think. They say he rambled and started talking about Hannibal Lecter. What does that have to do? That's a representative of people that are coming into our country. Dr. Hannibal Lecter, he will have you for dinner. You know that? He will have you for dinner.
Trump just compared himself to Hannibal Lecter and Al Capone in his Wisconsin speech. Yep, you heard that right. Our ex-prez is now hanging out with cannibals and mobsters, at least in his own mind. But wait, it gets weirder. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video, and boy, did Trump deliver on the crazy. Ever wonder what Hannibal Lecter, Al Capone, and Donald Trump have in common? According to the Orange Turd himself, it's a flair for villainy. But is Trump really gunning for Villain of the Year, or is he just confused about what makes a person cool? In his Wisconsin speech, Trump decided to take a stroll down Psycho Lane, comparing himself to some of history's most notorious baddies. First up on his weird flex list, none other than everyone's favorite cannibal, Hannibal Lecter. I guess in Trump's mind, his immigration policy is basically fava beans and a nice Chianti.
And he's a whack job. You know, they have a standard phrase that JD, who's very solid, and I happen to be very solid. I have other problems perhaps, but I'm a very solid person. They gave one the other day, manufactured, the vote was manufactured. It's not a term that's used politically. Every network headed up something about the vote was manufactured. They follow the lead of these people, but we've got the lead.
Who needs a wall when you can just eat the immigrants, right? Yikes. But wait, there's more. Not content with just one creepy comparison, Trump then decided to one-up himself by claiming he's worse than Al Capone, because nothing says vote for me like bragging about being more villainous than a notorious gangster. Is this Trump's way of auditioning for a Batman movie? Sorry, Donnie, but I think the Joker role is already taken. Now, you might be thinking, surely Trump realizes how bonkers this all sounds, right? Wrong! In a moment of pure, unintentional comedy gold, Trump insisted that he and JD Vance are not weird people. The audience's reaction? Laughter, because nothing says totally normal, like having to tell people you're not weird. It's like when your creepy uncle swears he's hip with the kids. Spoiler alert, he's not, and neither is Trump. But here's the kicker. Trump seems to think these comparisons make him sound tough and cool. In reality, they just make him look more unhinged than a door in a hurricane. It's like he's playing villain bingo, but instead of winning a prize, he's losing what's left of his credibility. Let's break it down, shall we? Hannibal Lecter, fictional cannibalistic serial killer. Al Capone, real-life gangster who went down for tax evasion. Donald Trump, former president who wants to be both. Make it make sense, people.
Can you imagine you're a parent and your son leaves the house and you say, Jimmy, I love you so much. Go have a good day in school. And your son comes back with a brutal operation. Can you even imagine this? Comrade Kamala, she said, oh, if you do that, he's raising your taxes. No, no, no. I'm not raising your taxes. I'm raising China and all of these countries in Asia and all over the world.
It's almost like Trump's playing a game of who's the baddest of them all in his head, and somehow he thinks he's winning. Newsflash, Donnie, being the worst doesn't make you the best. It's not a competition, and even if it was, you'd probably still lose to your own hair in a strong wind. But wait, there's a twist. While Trump's busy trying to out-villain actual villains, he's simultaneously insisting he's just a regular Joe. You know, just your average, run-of-the-mill billionaire ex-president who hangs out with mobsters and fictional cannibals. Totally normal Tuesday, right? Just when you thought Trump couldn't get any stranger, he decides to rewrite reality itself. Imagine a world where tariffs magically don't affect Americans and gender surgeries are lurking around every corner. Sound crazy? Well, that's just another day in Trump's America.
Support modifying the 25th Amendment to make clear that if a vice president lies or engages in a conspiracy to cover up the incapacity of the president of the United States, and if I don't win this election, Israel, with Comrade Kamala Harris at the helm of the United States, is doomed. Israel is doomed. No country left. It may be our last election. You want to know the truth? People have said that. This may be our last election.
Welcome to Trump's bizarro world, where facts go on vacation and logic takes a permanent leave of absence. In this alternate universe, Trump's not just a wannabe villain, he's a full-blown reality-bending wizard. And let me tell you folks, his latest tricks are more mind-boggling than a cat trying to solve a Rubik's Cube. First up on Trump's magical mystery tour, the economy. According to our Orange Prophet, America is destined to become a tariff nation. But don't worry, it's all sunshine and rainbows in Trump's economic fantasy land. He claims it's not gonna cost you anything. It's gonna be a big, beautiful tariff nation. Oh, Donnie! Someone needs to explain to him that tariffs are like farts in an elevator. Everyone suffers, not just the guy who dealt it. But wait, there's more. Trump, in his infinite wisdom, declares, "I'm not raising your taxes. I'm raising China and all of these countries." Yes, because that's totally how international trade works. It's like he thinks he can just point at other countries and yell, "You're fired!" And suddenly, America's rich. Sorry, Trump, but the economy isn't a reality TV show you can script. Now, let's dive into the truly bonkers part of Trump's alternate reality, the great gender surgery panic of 2023. According to Trump, kids are being held hostage for gender reconstruction surgery. Yes, you heard that right. Apparently, in Trump's world, doctors are lurking in dark alleys, waiting to pounce on unsuspecting children with scalpels and hormone pills. It's fear-mongering so ridiculous, it makes the monster under your bed seem plausible. But here's the kicker, when the media tries to make sense of Trump's nonsense, he accuses them of sandwashing his statements. What's sandwashing, you ask? Well, your guess is as good as mine. It seems Trump's not content with just bending reality. He's inventing new words to describe his own confusion. Maybe he meant whitewashing or brainwashing, or maybe he just really hates sandcastles. Who knows? The truly mind-boggling part is that Trump seems to believe his own alternate facts. It's like he's living in a bizarro world where up is down, left is right, and kafef is a real word. In Trump's universe, basic economic principles don't apply. The media is out to get him, shocker, and gender surgeries are more common than bad hair days in a Trump family reunion. But here's the thing, folks. While we're all laughing at Trump's latest foray into La La Land, his supporters are eating it up like it's the gospel truth. It's like they've all taken a one-way ticket to Trump's fantasy land, where facts are optional and conspiracy theories are the main attraction. Turns out Trump's Fantasyland has some new attractions. Did you know he's now peddling a trio of tall tales involving the end of elections, global fighter jet sales, and unemployment rates pulled from thin air? It's like he's playing Mad Libs with America's future, and the results are both hilarious and terrifying. First up on Trump's prophecy tour, democracy's doomsday. According to our Orange Oracle, if he doesn't win the next election, there might not be any more elections. Talk about raising the stakes. It's like he's auditioning for a low-budget apocalypse movie. Should we start stocking up on canned goods and toilet paper now, or wait until Trump's hair finally makes its great escape?
They've taken away your free speech, and the fake news is a threat to this country. They are just horrible. These are horrible people. No, some are good, and most of them are just absolutely terrible humans.
But wait, there's more. Trump's not just predicting the end of democracy, he's also moonlighting as an international arms dealer. In his speech, he bragged about selling F-35s worldwide, saying, "I bought a lot of them for countries all over the world." Wow, Donnie, I didn't know the presidency came with a side gig at Planes R Us. Maybe next time he can throw in a 2-for-1 deal on aircraft carriers? Now, let's talk about Trump's magical unemployment numbers. In Trump's world, the unemployment rate is a whopping 7.9%. In the real world, it's actually 4.2%. Oops, looks like Trump's math skills are about as reliable as his hair in a windstorm. Maybe he should stick to counting his golf strokes instead of job numbers. But the cherry on top of this nonsense sundae, Trump's warning that without him, Israel is doomed. He declared, "If I don't win this election, Israel with Comrade Kamala Harris at the helm of the United States is doomed." Yes, because nothing says, "I care about Israel," like using it as a political football. It's almost like he thinks he's the only thing standing between Israel and total chaos. Spoiler alert, he's not. So what do we make of all this? Well, it seems Trump's gone from reality TV star to full-blown fantasy novelist. He's writing a series called The Trump Prophecies, where facts are optional, and the more outrageous the claim, the better. It's like he's trying to win a game of who can say the craziest thing. But here's the kicker. He's the only one playing. The real problem. Trump's followers are eating this stuff up like it's the last bucket of KFC on earth. They're swallowing these tall tales, hook, line, and sinker, while the rest of us are left wondering if we've accidentally stumbled into the Twilight Zone.